Good morning, everyone. At the outset, I would like to thank Association of Physiologists and Pharmacologists of India, EPICON 2021 organizers for considering me for the prestigious Professor R.C. Shukla Oration Award. I am Dr. Kirtana Kunikulaya from Ramaya Medical College, Bangalore. The paper I would be presenting is Normative Data and Gender Differences in Heart Rate Variability in the Healthy Young Individuals Aged 18 to 30 Years, a South Indian cross-sectional study. Okay, the scheme of the presentation would be that I'll be introducing heart rate variability briefly in about 10 to 15 slides, after which I'll be talking in detail about the study which we have conducted in South India. Heart rate variability is one among the various autonomic function tests that can be used to measure the autonomic functions. Heart rate variability is nothing but the periodic fluctuations that occurs due to asynchronous firing of the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. It is measured using an ECG recording where it shows the beat-to-beat interval variation in the RR interval or beat-to-beat heart rate variability. An increased HRV is found when there is increased vagal activity. A reduced HRV occurs when sympathetic stimulation occurs. This is a graph which shows time interval on x-axis and the RI interval that is varying in a normal person from beat to beat or second to second. As far as the history of HRV goes, way back in 1965, it was appreciated to be seen as a sign of fetal distress where there were alterations in interbeat intervals. In 1996, a task force was formed in order to form uniform guidelines, standardize the nomenclature, give a normative data, as well as give us the physiological and pathophysiological correlates of heart rate variability. HRV can be measured as long-term or short-term recordings, short-term being about 5 to 10 minutes of recording. The advantage of short-term recording is because we can have standardized lab conditions when HRV can be recorded. Further, HRV can be analyzed using time domain or frequency domain methods. The time domain can be further classified into statistical as well as geometric time domain methods. As far as the parameters of HRV goes or the indices of HRV, a few commonly used ones are shown here, the time domain and the frequency domain parameters. Among the time domain parameters, a few important ones are mean NN interval, the mean heart rate, as well as standard deviation of all the NN intervals, the root mean of the squares of differences of the adjacent NN intervals, NN50, which is the NN intervals of more than 50 milliseconds, the number of them, and the percentage of NN50. Further, frequency domain methods can be done by decomposing the heart rate signal into its frequency components, which is called the power spectral analysis. The power spectral density can be calculated using fast Fourier transformation or autoregression modeling. What we have used in our study is fast Fourier transformation. The frequency spectrum can be further normalized by minimizing the effect of the values of the LF and the HF, that is low frequency and the high frequency components of the changes in total power using the formula as shown here, the normalization formula. This is a frequency spectrum where this is the very low frequency, the low frequency and the high frequency spectrum. This is using another software. These are the various frequency domain measures of heart rate variability, the total power, the ultra low frequency, very low frequency, LF nu is the normalized low frequency curve, the HF, the high frequency, HF nu, LF by HF ratio. Physiological correlates of HRV, as far as this goes, high frequency component is said to be an effective parameter to measure the efferent vagal activity, whereas the low frequency component, not so much of convincing evidence remains that it is purely a sympathetic parameter. Rather, normalization of the low frequency is said to be a good parameter to show the activity of sympathetic modulation. Low frequency by high frequency ratio is thus a marker of sympathovagal balance where LF is said to be having both the parasympathetic and sympathetic components, whereas the high frequency is a good parasympathetic component measurement. Task Force further gave us the normative data in the form of SDN and RMSSD as shown. Coming to the need of this study, which we did, was not many studies have created normative data for Indian population. A few of them have done very good studies in Indian population, one in 2012, the other in 2013, and the other in 2015, where they have studied more than 150 individuals, categorizing them gender-wise among the various age groups. Further, the understanding of age-specific and gender-specific changes remains unclear for the Indian or the South Indian population in particular. Of the various factors that influence HRV, age and gender are two important factors which are also said to be confounding variables when we consider the interpretation of a HRV recording. Why is age important? The autonomic nervous system, both the divisions, matures with aging, and thus the sympathovagal balance fluctuates with aging. Infants are said to have higher sympathetic activity, which reduces by the age of 10 years. Then the ANS activity remains stable during middle age, and again it reduces after the age of 60 years. Aging is also an important factor which is to be considered while we measure autonomic functions and the responses to the various tests of autonomic functions. Orthostatic hypotension incidence also increases with aging. It is thus important to have normative standards for each age group for comparison against abnormal HRV data. Gender is also an important factor because various studies have shown that women have higher parasympathetic tone, which reduces after the age of 50 years, that is in the postmenopausal age group. Men have a higher sympathetic tone, which reduces much later in life. Both the genders' autonomic nervous system control reduces with aging. However, a few studies have shown that there are no gender-related differences in HRV among young, healthy individuals. Thus, gender-related differences in cardiac autonomic activity is also an important factor to be considered while we interpret HRV. We thus started with the objective of evaluating the autonomic nervous system and the influence of gender among young healthy individuals of a particular age group. Materials and methods. About 350 subjects responded to our call to participate in the study, of which 322 of them completed a Google questionnaire form which had various socio-demographic characteristics of the individuals. About 25 of them were later excluded from the study because of incomplete questionnaire data or self-reported body mass index of more than 30 kg per meter square. Thus, 297 individuals were called to the lab for further data collection, out of which about 6 declined from participating further. 291 were then invited to the lab and baseline testing was done and the protocol was explained, of which we had to exclude another 3 subjects as their blood pressure did not fall under the normotensive guidelines. The final data analysis of heart rate variability was done in about 288 individuals, of which 125 were males, 163 were females. This was a cross-sectional study design, and the healthy subjects, the inclusion criteria was healthy subjects in the age group of 18 to 30 years who were from Bangalore, South India. Female subjects were called to the lab for data collection during their mid-follicular phase of their menstrual cycle. Informed consent was obtained and the study was also approved by our Institutional Ethical and Scientific Review Board. All the recordings were done between 8 to 10 a.m. The blood pressure was monitored using standardized Omron BP machine, the digital monitoring. Later, we recorded lead 2 ECG for a duration of about 10 to 11 minutes using PowerLab 15T lab chart hardware and software by AD Instruments. Only if we had a minimum of 8 minutes of good recording and a maximum of 10 minutes of ECG recording, these were the data that were analyzed for time domain and frequency domain parameters of heart rate variability. This was the instrument that was used, AD Instruments 4-channel device. After lead 2 ECG was analyzed to detect the various RR intervals, The RR intervals were then plotted in graphical form using the software as Poincare plots or tachogram frequency spectrum. After inspection of all these for any kind of artifacts or ectopics, we then got a HRV report, which looks something like this, which had the various time domain and frequency domain parameters. Statistical analysis of the data was done using SPSS software version 18 and RGUI software. Normalcy of the HRV data was checked. We found that there were various HRV parameters which were skewed, thus they were log transformed and again analyzed. The various continuous variables were analyzed using Student's t-test. Categorical variables was analyzed using chi-square test. We also looked at the interaction of age and gender using two-way ANOVA test. A HRV correlation matrix was created using our software. We further looked at the various confounding variables that we had in the form of questionnaire data as well as lab recordings. The various confounding variables are listed here. They were all adjusted, and again we tried to see which was the most important variable that was affecting the dependent variable. The dependent variable being HRV absolute and log converted values, which were adjusted for the various confounding variables. Age was further categorized into two categories, 18 to 23.9 and those above 24 up to the age of 30 years, and again looked for age and age group interaction effects. A p-value of less than equal to 0.05 was considered to be statistically significant. Results. All the baseline parameters were comparable between the gender groups, between the males and females, except for age, systolic blood pressure, and the heart rate. We found that males had a slightly higher age group of about 1 year higher and a higher systolic blood pressure compared to the females. Females in turn had a higher heart rate compared to males. As shown in this table, the age was slightly higher among males and it was statistically significant difference, but the various other socio-demographic characteristics were similar between the two gender groups, be it the education level, the BMI, physical activity involvement, family history of non-communicable disorders. Coming to the blood pressure measurement, it was found that males had a slightly higher systolic blood pressure compared to the females, and the heart rate was slightly higher among females compared to the males. These three, the age, systolic blood pressure, and heart rate being statistically significant. Coming to the heart rate variability results, we'll first see the gender differences. What we observed was the mean NN interval and the mean heart rate significantly differed between the males and females, with females having a lower mean NN interval, in turn having a higher heart rate compared to the males. This was statistically significant. Coming to the time domain parameters, not many of them, be it the SDNN, RMSSD, and N50, did vary between the males and females. Though we observed a higher level among females, it was not statistically significant except for the absolute value of NN50, but not the log converted value of the NN50. Coming to the frequency domain parameters, many of them were significantly varying between the males and females. As we see, the high frequency absolute power or the normalized unit was higher among females compared to males, but the low frequency in absolute units or the normalized unit was higher among males, as well as the very low frequency in absolute power was higher among males. Moving on to the interaction effects of heart rate variability with the age and gender. As we see, age alone or in combination with gender did not affect or did not interact much with the heart rate variability parameters, but then we observed that it was only gender which was interacting significantly with the NN interval or the heart rate, not much with the time domain parameters. There was not much of interaction of age or gender with the time domain parameters. Whereas the frequency domain parameters, again, we observed that only age or age in combination with gender did not have much of interaction effects. But when we considered only gender, this again had a significant effect on the heart rate variability parameters such as the VLF, LF, be it the absolute levels or the normalized units, as well as HF in normalized unit and the LFHF ratio. The correlation matrix is now shown, wherein we see that this is absolutely no correlation, which is white in color. A -1 indicates a strong negative correlation, which is shown in very dark red color, and a dark blue color indicates a highly positive correlation between the various HRV parameters shown on the X and the Y axis. What we observed was that there was strong correlation, a positive correlation between SDN and RMSSD, the time domain parameters, with the total power in absolute levels. In a similar way, SDNN and RMSSD was strongly positively correlating with the high frequency in absolute levels, but there was strong negative correlation between the low frequency normalized unit in comparison with in correlation with the high frequency normalized unit. In a similar way, there was strong negative correlation between the high frequency normalized unit with the LFHF ratio. Further, after adjusting for all the confounding variables using multivariate ANCOVA analysis, we observed that it was only gender which was having a significant effect on the various HRV parameters which are shown over here, and only those which had a significant interaction, only those HRV parameters have been depicted in this table. Now coming to the discussion of our results. Effective normative data of HRV is available for various other parts of the world as given by these various studies. Very few researchers have tried to establish a normative data for the Indian population. It is important to note that HRV varies with breathing, be it the free or paced, the gender that is being studied, as well as the method of power spectral analysis. Is it the autoregressive modeling technique or the fast Fourier transformation? As we discussed before, what we used was the free breathing technique in our study, as well as the fast Fourier transformation was used to analyze the HRV data. The normative data given by task force guidelines showed that the SDNN and RMSSD was 141 and 27 mean value. But in the current study, we found that SDNN was much higher as well as RMSSD was higher compared to the task force guidelines. This could be due to the short-term HRV data analysis that we did. The time domain is best analyzed using 24-hour HRV analysis. We also used free breathing technique, and the age group that was included in our study was 18 to 30 years compared to what was used in task force, which was 40 to 70 years. Leaving alone these two HRV parameters, the rest all frequency domain parameters matched with the normative data that was given by task force, except for high frequency levels, be it the absolute power or the normalized unit, which was again higher in the present study. Again, this indicates the higher parasympathetic tone among younger individuals. In another study where normative data was given as shown in the slide, we saw that most of the values were similar to what we observed in our study, except for the high frequency and the low frequency absolute powers, which was again little higher in our data compared to what was seen by Schaffer et al. In 2017. A study from South India by Mudita et al. Again, we find a few values which were given in that study was the total power HF and LF ratio. All the levels are higher in our study. This may be again due to the age group in our study, which was mean of about 20 to 21 years compared to what was seen in Mudita et al. Study of 29 to 30 years is what was done in that study. Further, the other time domain or the frequency domain parameters were not available in that study for us to compare with the South Indian population data. Coming to the correlation analysis, what we observed was the mean heart rate was inversely proportional to all the time domain parameters. As we said, SDNN and RMSSD strongly positively correlated with the total power and the high frequency. Like the other studies, we found significant negative correlation of the high frequency normalized unit, which is a parasympathetic parameter, with the LF normalized unit or LFHF ratio, clearly demarcating the sympathovagal balance differences in our study and similar to the various other studies. Coming to the gender differences, we found that females had low mean in NN interval, higher heart rate. At the same time, despite of the higher heart rate, they had higher parasympathetic activity in the form of various time domain and the frequency domain parameters, indicating a better parasympathetic tone among females of this age group. Males had a higher VLF ratio, VLF absolute power, LF and LF by HF ratio. Further, we found that it was only gender after adjusting for the various confounding variables that had a significant interaction effect with the various heart rate variability parameters as we had shown in our results. The gender difference in autonomic balance is said to begin during adolescence, and usually HRV parameters are lower among women who are less than 50 years before menopause. However, after menopause, this gender difference is said to disappear. A few studies have not shown any gender-based difference, be it in a study by Toth et al. In 2017 or Galliv et al. In 2002, who studied 6 to 16 years age group of children. But then the South Indian study by Mudita et al., they did show gender difference. It's similar to our study where they saw that the HF normalized unit and HF by LF ratio was higher among females compared to the males. They thus saw there was a gender difference that was observed among adolescent and adult age groups. A recent meta-analysis is important to be quoted that this meta-analysis studied 63,000 participants, of which 31,000 were females, and they clearly saw that the females had lower mean and NN interval, a higher heart rate, but despite of a higher heart rate, they showed that women had higher parasympathetic control as evidenced by HF ratio, which is similar to what we have observed in our study. Another study, which included about 255 participants, did not find much of age or gender interaction effects with the heart rate variability. Rather, they observed that heart rate was one of the important factors that affected HRV. And here the authors commented that the lack of gender influence in late adolescence could be due to incomplete maturity of the autonomic nervous system. The low sympathetic activity or a higher parasympathetic tone that is found among females is said to be cardioprotective. The mechanism of various gender differences which is found in autonomic function could be due to prenatal influences of the various hormones acting on the brain as well as the peripheral effects of the gonadal hormones. Lastly, coming to the strengths and the limitations of our study, for the first time, to the best of our knowledge, we have created a normative data for South Indian population aged 18 to 30 years with gender differences being shown. Even after adjusting for various confounding variables, we clearly saw that gender does affect the heart rate variability. The sample size of our study was quite adequate to draw statistical conclusions. The group was homogeneous as far as the socio-demographic characteristics or the other general health parameters that was measured in our study. We used standardized equipment, lab conditions, and statistical measures in order to do our data collection and analysis. Most of the data which we finally analyzed and the results obtained matched with the existing normative data literature, further confirming the universality of the HRV data. The main limitations that we found in our study was that we did not study the other age groups. The breathing that we incorporated as our methodology technique was the free breathing technique and not paced. As well, we did not study 24-hour heart rate variability measurements in order to clearly conclude the time about the time domain parameters for which 24-hour HRV is considered to be good. As conclusion, in this study, we have thus established a normative data of HRV among young adults and also observed that gender has a significant effect on the various HRV parameters, implying the role of gonadal hormones on autonomic nervous system balance. This gives the baseline HRV data based on which the various other studies can be developed. It is important to understand the population dynamics for evaluation and treatment of people with autonomic nervous system disorders in South India and thus this normative data may be helpful to compare against the abnormal ANS, abnormal HRV data that can be obtained. Future research can concentrate on investigating the other age groups using 24-hour HRV data. The various other HRV parameters can also be analyzed, such as the geometric time domain methods. These are the various references we have used in our study. And this is an open access paper that is recently published in Indian Pacing and Electrophysiology Journal. I thus thank APPI, Epicon 2021 again, and also thank the funding agencies, Indian Council of Medical Research and Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Government of Karnataka, for funding this research. Thank you.